What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at something with Solana that is incredibly important, and I'm so glad that we're finally starting to see this happen because it's a sign that we have been right all along, and Solana is moving in the direction in which we've always said it would. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, today we are going to be taking a look at DeFiLlama.com, paying more attention to Solana's TVL. Now, for a quick refresher, TVL is the total value locked. This is quite simply the amount of assets or currencies that are locked on a certain ecosystem. Generally within the world of crypto, it's like within the world of staking and things of that nature. Now, the reason TVL is important is because it's a representation of the overall size of the ecosystem that you're looking at. And so obviously the bigger the TVL gets, or the total value locked, generally the higher the credibility of that company or that ecosystem becomes, quite simply because it is then considered bigger. So knowing that and kind of having that in mind, what we're going to be doing is looking at what's happening with Solana's TVL right now, and I'll be telling you why what is happening is so important. Now, for a quick little history recap, back in 2021, we saw Solana's TVL reach an all-time high of right around $10 billion before inevitably collapsing into the low $100 million range in the 2022 bear market. Now, after of course collapsing to that $100 to $200 million range, we have now seen Solana's TVL climb all the way back up and smashing it up towards $5 billion, about halfway recovered to its previous all-time high. Now, what's great about this and amazing about this is not only the fact that we are about halfway recovered, but it is just to go to show that Solana's ecosystem is now becoming what we expected it to back in 2021. Back in 2021, most of the TVL was kind of contributed to very like a few different companies, a few different products, and the only reason it got that high was because the liquidity in 2021 was just so high, right? That people were putting money anywhere and everywhere. It wasn't really that Solana's ecosystem was that good. It was just that those few little protocols were good enough. Okay. Now, what's important is that as we entered into this market, Solana was on a mission. Solana was on a mission to go from expectation to reality. What does that mean? It means that in 2021, we said Solana's gonna have this ecosystem. It's gonna build these things. It's gonna have this development. It's gonna have this. It's gonna have that. It was all the word of gonna, right? It's gonna do these things. It was expectations. Whereas now Solana is living in the reality of like, okay, Solana now has an ecosystem. Solana now has protocols and devs building actively. We see the GameFi space starting to implement on Solana. We're seeing all of these things. So now is the true time. It's the true task. It is the moment in which we determine whether or not Solana is going to actually be able to become and flourish into those things that we thought it would back in 2021. And so in a time like this where we are seeing now Solana's TVL climbing, and not only just climbing, putting in new macro highs right now, it's a very good thing because this is Solana actually becoming what this was caused by, and that was the expectation, right? It's becoming its expectations from 2021, and that's beautiful. Now, from a shorter term time perspective, what we can see is that Solana is actually hovering near, maybe even sitting right around that yearly all-time high. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because if we do go look at Solana's price itself is still recovering. Solana's price is not all the way back up to where it was. It is still, quite a bit lower than it was at its all-time high of this year. We're still about 20% removed from that yearly high. And so knowing that and the fact that its ecosystem itself is moving a little bit faster, right? Moving a little bit faster than the overall price of Solana, it's a good sign to show that as Solana's price does inevitably start to recover, as we do inevitably start to see it grow and flourish again, maybe pushed up to 200, 250, 300, the likelihood is here that we're going to see Solana's ecosystem, its TVL, growing even faster and moving in a direction that is pursuing these highs even faster than Solana. And that's always been the goal, because the reason is you don't want it to just be Solana. Like, you don't want your ecosystem to only do well if the main token's price is doing well, right? You don't want to only see the Binance ecosystem doing well if BNB is doing well. You want to see them have, of course, some unity, but at the same time, you want this to become its own ecosystem, because realistically, if this ecosystem can flourish without Solana, that's going to be better for Solana, right? And so seeing the fact that we are now sitting to right around this high for the year, not all-time high, but yearly high, it is now beautiful to see that we are still seeing the Solana ecosystem hold up, even in moments like this, in which its price did see that pullback, right? We saw Solana's price, guys, pull back. How much was this? 43%. 43% over the just kind of a few weeks. We didn't really see that from its TVL. Its TVL barely pulled back, then immediately started to recover some of those losses. And that just goes to show that this isn't just it's not just its 5 minutes of fame, right? Solana is actually becoming what we thought it would become. It's actually turning into the ecosystem that would thrive and be self-sustainable and self-sufficient. And this is just a sign to go to show that even if Solana's price starts to pull back, even in moments where Solana's price itself isn't doing good, this ecosystem is still growing and moving in the right direction as we enter into what should be a parabolic bull market at some point. And that obviously puts it in a spot where I think we can surpass these previous all-time highs. And so overall, the fact that we are seeing this, although it may look small when you zoom out, and this may not look important, it's incredibly important. It's so valuable, and it is something that I think motivates me to still believe that Solana will eventually hit those $500, $600, $700 marks one day with this ecosystem way past 10 billion, maybe 20, 30, 40 billion dollars worth of TVL, but obviously we just have to see what happens. And so because of that, guys, I just want to give you an update of what we're seeing from more of an ecosystemic perspective. We of course haven't seen much price movement from Solana recently over the last few days, so I wanted to give you a bit of a different update today. So if you do enjoy these videos, I actually did post one that's kind of similar, a little bit more of a fundamental approach over on Bitcoin a few hours ago, so make sure you do go check that out if you're interested. But before you do head out, make sure you do smash the like button on this video so more people see it, and make sure you tune in for the next video as I have a couple more coming today. But of course, I hope you guys all have an absolutely amazing Friday, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.